My name's Ashley from Stratos Technology Partners. In this video today we're going to create and use HTML tables using Microsoft Flow and SharePoint Online. There are many use cases where we could use HTML tables in Power Automate Flow. A couple of examples are 1. A customer sales list, which holds all the sales information for a customer. You could send this to the sales manager on a periodic basis. Another one is an asset management list. You could also send a periodic email detailing assets that meet a certain requirement. A final example is a task assignment list, where you could send an automated email at the end of each day to task assignment owners of their tasks. That's what we're going to look at today. So during this video, we will look at how to create the task assignment list, create the flow, and then test to see how the flow works. I'm going to begin in Teams, but you can begin in SharePoint as well. So the first thing we need to do is create a list. So I'm going to go to the team and the channel that I would like to create the list in. Select the plus on the tabs at the top of the channel. And this time I'm going to choose lists. Select Save. Once we've done that, we'll get the option to create a new list or add an existing list. So you could add an existing list if you already have a task list, but for this example, I'm going to create a new list. So you can create from blank, from Excel, or from an existing list. I'm going to choose the Work Progress Tracker. So it gives you an example of what it could look like, and then I'll select Use Template. So you can rename this. I'm going to call it Project Online Implementation Tasks. You can give it a description, change the color and the logo, and select Create, and that will create my list. So from here I'm just going to add a couple of tasks so that we can see them when I create the flow. So we could have the project initiation document as a task. We might have project kickoff meeting. I'm just going to put the basic detail for now. But you can fill in the detail as you go along. And the last one I'll add here is the risk register. So there we can see I've created 3 tasks. The next step is to create the flow. From here I'm going to go to flow.microsoft.com. And we want to create a new flow. So for this one, I want it to go at the end of each day, so it's going to be a scheduled cloud flow. We can add a name to this, so I'm going to call it Project Online Implementation Send Task List. I will leave the run this flow time as it is for now. We can change that once we're in the flow. So once we're in the flow, I'm going to click on the Reoccurrence here. You'll see if you leave it at 1 minute, it doesn't give you very much information to fill in. But if you change this to week, it actually gives you a bit more detail and you can specify what days and what time. So I'm going to run it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because we don't want it to go on the weekend, and at these hours. So I want it to go maybe at the end of each day. So I could choose 5 o'clock. You can also pick your time zone which you're in. and then we can get on to the next step. So the first thing we want to do is actually get the list information. So we're going to get item. In SharePoint, and we can fill in the list information. So even though you've created it in Teams, it is still in SharePoint. So I can find Project Online Implementation, the list, and you can set some filters, but for now I'm just going to leave it like this. From here I'm actually just going to save the flow, just to save what we've done at the moment. So it's just telling us that we can filter it if we want to. So the next step we want to do here is called select. So if you type in select into the search, you'll see that there's a data operation called select. The first information it's asking for is from, so we actually want to use the value from the list items. The mapping is then where we take what we want in the table. So the first one might be the task name, and then in here we can go and find the title, which will be the task name. We might want the assignment owner, and maybe the start date. So you can add any detail that you'd like here. So I'll just leave it like that for now and then move on to the next step. The next step is creating the HTML table from the select action. So if we type in create HTML, we've got a create HTML table data operation. So I can select that, and in the from we want to select the output from the select option here. That will create the table based on the information that we put in the select action. So from here we can then choose to send an email. I'm going to use Outlook Send an Email version 2. For now this is just going to go to my own email, but you could have this going to the assignment owner or a manager of the list or a project manager. So I'll select my own email and then I'll put a subject, in the text I can put please see assigned tasks below, and underneath that I can put the output from the create HTML table. And save. Again we get the filter warning, so you can add a filter to the get items. It may make it a bit quicker in the performance, and you could do that on the status, so only go on active tasks or something like that. For the purpose of this I'm just going to quickly change the reoccurrence to a trigger so that I can show you how it works. So I'm just going to delete that reoccurrence and just choose the Flow mobile button and save. So I'll click out of here and now we'll test it. So I can select run on the top of the flow. Each time you run the flow for the first time, it may ask you to allow the permissions, so I'll just select continue, and then we can run the flow. So we can see it's running, and it ran successfully. Here I've just opened up the email that was sent. So we've got the 3 tasks that I added during this video. So there is no assignment owner or start date, as I didn't add that to the task when I created the item. But if you had detail in there, that would also come through in the email. So that's how you can create an HTML table in Power Automate. Thanks for watching.